We spend almost a third of our lives asleep. That's almost 3,000 hours a year, seemingly doing nothing. But if you look closer at your brain's activity while you sleep, you will be surprised at what happens as you slumber. Sleep is essential for life. If you don't sleep, you will eventually die. For years, scientists did not know why sleep is so important. Then it was discovered that the brain builds new memories during sleep, especially during sleep that lasts longer than 6 hours. The brain also deletes unnecessary information before it becomes a memory. Furthermore, the brain solves challenging problems for us during sleep. It also comes up with creative ideas, making sleep an active brain state essential for brain performance. Very recently, scientists discovered that our brains clear out toxic proteins and other waste products during sleep. Brain fluid physically moves through the brain in so-called gutters that open up during sleep, removing the toxic elements that, if accumulate, can damage neurons. This is a compelling argument for adequate sleep, to keep our brains healthy and to stay alive. Adequate sleep is currently believed to be 7 to 9 hours. This begs the question, what happens when we sleep? Firstly, it is an active brain state. In many ways, our brains are more active while we are asleep. So active that we need to be asleep for the brain to do its job. Consider a typical 8-hour sleep period. We doze off, from shallow sleep into deeper sleep, until we reach our deepest sleep. Then, after about 90 minutes, something fascinating happens. All our muscles are paralyzed, except those that allow you to breathe, the heart, one muscle in your inner ear, and the muscles of your eyes. In fact, the eye muscles are quite active, making your eyes jump around, causing rapid eye movement. That's why this sleep phase is called rapid eye movement sleep, or REM sleep. As you drift into deeper sleep, the first sleep phase is called non-REM sleep. We then cycle out of non-REM sleep back into a more shallow REM sleep. During 8 hours of sleep, we go through 4 or 5 cycles of REM and non-REM sleep. After 2 to 3 of these cycles in the middle of our sleep night, we don't cycle into deep sleep again. We are more easily roused, and we have longer REM sleep phases. It is when we move into this lighter sleep phase that we can wake up and find it hard to sleep again, losing out on a lot of good sleep, especially REM sleep. When you are faced with a big decision, you are often told to sleep on it. Let's explore why this is such good advice. Remember that the brain is highly active during what seems to us like restful sleep. One major brain activity while we sleep is the building of memory. Like ships in the night, new memory bytes leave the hippocampus, where the information was received the previous day, and set sail for the various long-term memory sites in the cortex. Here they will be linked with what we already know, to make sense of the newly learned information, as well as to enhance the possibility of becoming permanent insight and knowledge. What's more, the brain not only builds new knowledge during sleep, but also emotionally consolidates the memories of the previous day, making more sense of it and enhancing its usefulness for our survival. It also deletes memories that we will not need in the future, a little like deleting emails from your inbox. Memory is formed in both REM and non-REM sleep phases, and it does it best if you sleep more than 6 hours and up to 9 hours. Building on this idea that we should sleep on our problems, consider REM sleep. It is amazing and even a little scary that we are paralyzed during this bizarrely fascinating sleep phase, almost as if to prevent us from acting out our dreams, and as if our brains are working so actively on so many things while we sleep that the motor system needs to be disconnected for a while. Although we are not 100% certain what happens during REM sleep, we are quite sure that this sleep phase is when we clean out the brain's hard drive, when we make sense of the events of the previous day, when we build solutions for the challenging problems we encountered during the wake cycle, and when we are immersed in creative problem solving. But it's important to remember that most of your REM sleep occurs in the second part of your sleep night. Finally, when you wake up in a restful state after this busy brain night, you are ready to perform at your best. Even if you are a night owl, your brain should still be ready to fire. Research demonstrates that our brains cycle through metabolic highs and lows during the day, and it seems our cognitive ability to perform well correlates with this metabolic rhythm. Typically, we perform at our cognitive best between 6 a.m. and 12 p.m., after which our performance invariably dips, only to pick up again after 4 p.m. and into the evening. So try not to schedule your most cognitively challenging work between noon and 4 p.m.